All right, boys and girls, our mentor story today is a legend. And remember, a legend is a story that's been passed down from earlier times. It is the legend of Groundhog Day. Yesterday was February 2nd, and it's considered Groundhog's Day. And this legend began many years ago in Europe, and people celebrated it. And they believed that small animals like badgers and hedgehogs and woke up from their long hibernation and could tell whether or not spring was going to be coming in 6 weeks, or if we were going to have if spring was coming, or if we were going to have 6 more weeks of winter. So today we're going to, and tomorrow, we're just going to use this as our mentor text and do a little bit of research and learn about the groundhog and the legend of the Groundhog Day. Gail Gibbons wrote this story and or this nonfiction story, and she does a beautiful job because she does great pictures and illustrations. All right, let's get started. Groundhog Day is celebrated on February 2nd. Some people believe that on this day of the year, watching groundhogs can help them predict when spring will come. And I know we all hope for spring. I figure if it's not going to snow, we might as well have spring, right, boys and girls? When will spring begin? The date of February 2nd is about the middle of the winter. Old stories say that if a groundhog sees its shadow on this date, there will be about 6 more weeks of winter. Those stories also say that if a groundhog didn't see its shadow, spring will come early. So do you know yesterday, maybe you can research this on the internet with the help of mom and dad, whether or not the groundhog saw its shadow or not. Groundhog Day grew out of old customs and beliefs. Some ancient peoples celebrated a spring festival in early February. Many people cleaned their houses in the area where they lived, getting ready for the new beginning, the new spring season. Then, about 1,500 years ago, people in Europe began lighting candles in the early spring for a new religious celebration. The practice coincided with the older observances that celebrated the end of winter and the beginning of spring. So they had a big celebration when winter was over. People have always thought that they could predict when spring would come by watching animals. They believed that if a hibernating animal awoke from its sleep in the beginning of February and saw its shadow, there would be several more weeks of winter. So here's a picture of a hedgehog, and there's a bear hibernating and a badger. If the animal didn't see its shadow, spring would come soon. They watched animals like the hedgehog, the bear, and the badger. When Europeans were coming to North America, some settled in Pennsylvania. They brought with them this tradition of predicting spring by watching animals. Many groundhogs live in this region of Pennsylvania, and groundhogs are animals that hibernate. It seemed logical to choose groundhogs to predict when spring would arrive. Early in February, people watched groundhogs to find out whether they did or they didn't see their shadow. This custom became a yearly celebration, boys and girls, in many places, including Punxsutawney, Pennsylvania. So this is the state of Pennsylvania. It's over on the East Coast, and Punxsutawney is where every year there's a special little celebration that they check to see if the groundhog saw his shadow or not. Then in 1886, so they've been doing this for so many years, Clymer Fries wrote in the town paper that February 2nd would be called Groundhog's Day. In Punxsutawney, the special groundhog is called Punxsutawney Phil. There have been many Punxsutawney Phils, and every year on February 2nd, thousands of people show up at Gobbler's Knob just outside of Punxsutawney to find out if Phil will see his shadow. And I want you again to check to see if mom and dad will help you if Punxsutawney Phil yesterday saw his shadow. High up on a stage, Phil is kept in a burrow under a fake tree stump. Town officials are also up on the stage, and at exactly 7:25, Phil is taken out of his burrow, and everyone cheers. If Phil sees his shadow, winter will be longer. If he doesn't see his shadow, spring will come sooner. The officials make it look as if Phil whispers to one of them whether or not he has seen his shadow. It's all pretend. But what would have to happen for him to see his shadow? Would the sun have to be out or gone? Think about that. Sometimes Phil is right and other times he is wrong. Lots of people think Groundhog's Day is just a fun holiday. It's not anything anyone takes seriously. A groundhog is a furry rodent. It is a mammal that can weigh between 5 and 10 pounds, and it usually grows to about 20 inches long and has a short tail and short legs. Many people think a groundhog is cute when it waddles around. Like other rodents, like mice and squirrel and beavers, groundhogs have large front teeth that grow continuously. To help them down, groundhogs gnaw on, bite, and eat twigs and branches. Their diet also includes leaves, flowers, and berries. Groundhogs are found in parts of the United States and Canada. Okay, here's the United States and here's Canada. Mexico's down here. They live alone in burrows that they dig out with their sharp, curved front claws. Some burrows can be as deep as 6 feet. So 6 feet is about a little less than what Taylor's height is, or maybe your dad's, and spread out more than 30 feet. So they have a toilet chamber where they go to the bathroom, and a hibernating chamber where they sleep, and a nesting chamber where they have their babies, and a food chamber where they eat, and here's a sleeping chamber. So they've got lots of rooms in their little homes. Since they are prey to many animals, groundhogs stay close to home, usually near one of the entrances to their burrows. When outside their burrows, they may sit up straight with their front paws held tightly against their chests, eating and watching for any signs of danger. When danger is near, groundhogs make a sharp, high-pitched whistle to warn other groundhogs. Some of their natural enemies are wolves, that's mean, nasty fox, and birds. During the summer, groundhogs eat as much as they can to increase their body fat. In the fall, they go into burrows to hibernate through the cold winter months. Throughout the winter, their fat provides nourishment to keep them alive. To save energy, the body temperature drops and their breathing and heart rate slow down. And that's how all hibernated animals survive in the winter. In some parts of the United States and Canada, groundhogs poke their tiny noses out of their burrows during February, about the middle of winter. Male groundhogs look for female groundhogs around that time and they mate. And about 30 days later, the females give birth to their litters of tiny blind kits. In northern areas, all this happens much later. For the first month, the mother groundhog takes very good care of their young. When the kits are about 1 month old, they open their eyes and begin to crawl. So baby groundhogs are called kits. And they don't live in family packs. They are born in litters like that. Okay. When the young groundhogs are about 2 months old, they are able to leave their mothers to dig their own burrows. 2 months is not very long. A new generation of groundhogs is ready to take care of itself. People enjoy Groundhog's Day. Sometimes children draw pictures of groundhogs, have snacks, play games such as shadow tag. Have you ever played shadow tag? It's fun. People read stories to children about Groundhog's Day, and of course, Punxsutawney Phil is the big star. People want to find out whether or not Phil will see his shadow. There are other famous groundhogs too. Often gardeners and farmers think groundhogs are pests because they eat their vegetables. Other people think groundhogs are good at tilling the soil when they dig burrows. Even though groundhogs are not native to every region, people all over the United States celebrate Groundhog's Day. All right. So we will be learning about groundhogs in the next few days, and your work these 2 short morning days will be about Groundhog's Day. So maybe to respond to this video, you can check to see if Punxsutawney Phil saw his shadow yesterday, and if not, just tell me that you couldn't check the internet, but I'll let you know tomorrow. Okay? All right. Bye-bye.